The king of the north!
I am the dragon's daughter.
What right does the wolf judge the lion?
Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with some juice to get you through the long night. It's Targaryen week, and if you're excited, please slap that like button and drop some dragon emojis in the comment section. Something you don't hear a lot about in the show is the Blackfyre Rebellions. And in my personal opinion, if the prequel isn't Dance of Dragons, it should be the Blackfyre Rebellion. I know a lot of people wanted Robert's Rebellion, but... So let me tell you a story. This story starts off with a dumb-ass king, Aegon IV, or Aegon the Unworthy. Aegon married his sister, Nerys Targaryen. Nerys and Aegon had another sibling as well, and you may know him as Aemon Targaryen, the Dragon Knight. Nerys Targaryen would give Aegon two legitimate children, Daeron and Daenerys. But he was more Robert Baratheon than he was Aegon the Conqueror. He had 9 mistresses, and he bedded Baelor the Blessed's wife, Dana the Defiant. His 9 mistresses were Felina Stokeworth, Mary Meg, Cassilla Vaith, the Black Pearl of Bravos, Barbe Bracken, Melissa Blackwood, Bethany Bracken, Jean Lothston, and Cernai of Lys. Some of these women gave him bastards. Cernai of Lys was the mother of Shira Seastar. Melissa Blackwood was the mother of Maya, Gwen, and Brenzin, who you know as Blood Raven. Barbe Bracken was the mother of Aegor Rivers, who you might know as Bittersteel. The Black Pearl of Bravos was mothers to Belnora, Narha, and Balerion. He also had children with Mary Meg. Their names were Alysanne, Willow, and Rosie. Dana the Defiant gave birth to Daemon. When Aegon was on his deathbed, he legitimized all of his children. Some were bastards, but some were great bastards. The great bastards were called that because they were the children of ladies from noble houses. The great bastards were Maya, Gwen's, Bloodraven, Bittersteel, Shira Seastar, and Daemon. The others were also legitimized, but they weren't from great houses of Westeros. When Daemon was 12 years old, he won the Squire's tourney, and Aegon skipped his true-born son and gave Daemon his great bastard, the ancestral Targaryen sword Blackfyre, and lands, and titles, and incomes. From this day forward, he took the last name Blackfyre. Daeron II, Prince of Dragonstone, was crowned king by the High Septon after his father's death. Daeron was a good king, and he was known as Daeron the Good. Daeron treated the great bastards kind and just, giving them lands, dowries, incomes, whatever befit their station. But none of that would matter later. He brought Dorne into the realm by marrying Mariah of Dorne and arranging the marriage of his sister Daenerys to Prince Mairon. And that's how the water gardens got built in Dorne. He built them for her. One of the big issues for the Lords of Westeros was they thought Dorne had too much influence over King Daeron, and Dorne was receiving certain benefits that other great houses were not. There was no defining moment that led to the rebellion, no kidnapping of betrothed wives or any of that other nonsense that happened with Robert's Rebellion. Just squabbling houses that wanted a different king, and they just didn't like Dorne. So they looked to Daemon, and his half-brother Bittersteel looked to Daemon as well. Press your claim, brother. Our father wanted you to be king. He gave you Blackfyre. Fuck these people. I don't know exactly what he said, but I'm sure it was something to that nature. Lords high and low flocked to Daemon. He wed his oldest daughter to Bittersteel, and he was about to press his claim and name himself king, but King Daeron found out. Somehow, rumors are it was Bloodraven with his 1,000 eyes in one that told Daeron, and Daeron sent the Kingsguard to arrest Daemon, but he was tipped off and he escaped the Red Keep. Daemon and his allies used this attempted arrest as their reason for declaring war. Another reason they said was that Daeron was not Aegon's son, but the son of Nerys and the Dragon Knight, and then started the Blackfyre Rebellion. Bastards can wear their father's colors, but they must be reversed. So the Blackfyre sigil is a black three-headed dragon on a red field. Battles would be fought in the Vale, the Westerlands, the Riverlands, and the Reach, but then came the badass Battle of Redgrass Field. During the Battle of Redgrass Field, Sir Gawain Cobray and Daemon dueled with Valyrian steel swords Blackfyre and Lady Forlorn for an hour before Daemon could get advantage of Cobray, and Cobray was wounded. Bloodraven and his badass weirwood bow wielding archers Raven's Teeth were in position on top of Weeping Ridge and rained down arrows onto the battlefield. Firstly, they killed Daemon's son Aegon, then Daemon himself, then his other son Aemon, all slain by sorcery-guided weirwood arrows. Bittersteel took Blackfyre and led the rebels against Raven's Teeth. Another duel broke out between Bloodraven and Bittersteel. Bloodraven lost his eye, and Prince Baelor Breakspear got there just in time with the Dornish spearmen and the men from the Stormlands, and Prince Maker rallied the Vale, and they crushed the remnants of the rebel host with a move called the Hammer and the Anvil. Something similar to what Ramsay Bolton tried to do to Jon during the Battle of the Bastards. 10,000 men died on Redgrass Field, and countless others were wounded and maimed. And before the battle, Redgrass Field was just an unnamed green grass field, but that day it was filled with so much blood that the grass was stained red, and that's how it got its name. Anybody that supported the Blackfyres were stripped of their lands and titles. Daemon's remaining sons fled to Tyrosh along with Bittersteel. While Bittersteel was in exile, he formed the Golden Company. King Daeron's son, Prince Baelor Breakspear, was killed at the Ashford tourney when he fought his brother Maker on behalf of Sir Duncan the Tall. King Daeron then died from spring sickness, and the cup passed to their brother King Aerys I. Bloodraven was his hand. Nobody trusted Bloodraven. He was a sorcerer, a skin changer. People accused him and his sister and lover Shira Seastar of a vile sorcery and dark arts and bathing in blood and all this other nonsense. And they began to refer to Bloodraven as 1,000 eyes in one. But Bloodraven remained loyal to the Targaryens and not his great bastard siblings. During the reign of Aerys, Lord Gorman Peake convinced Daemon Blackfyre's eldest surviving son, Daemon the Younger, to press his claim at the wedding tourney at White Walls. The rebellion the squabbling lords were plotting was sniffed out by Bloodraven immediately. The tourney was a farce, a charade to conspire to put Daemon the Younger on the throne. Before the tourney ended, Bloodraven showed up at White Walls with the Raven Teeth archers, numbers in the 300s, snuffing the second rebellion out before it could even get started. The third Blackfyre Rebellion was launched by Bittersteel and Aegon, Daeron's fourth son. Prince Maker led the forces along with his sons, and there was yet another duel between Bloodraven and Bittersteel. Aegon was slain even after he surrendered, and Bittersteel was taken prisoner, but Aerys spared him and sent him to the Wall instead of being killed. But the ship carrying Bittersteel to the Wall was taken in the Narrow Sea, and Bittersteel returned to the Golden Company and immediately crowned Aegon's son, Daemon III. King Aerys died, and then King Maker was crowned king. But after King Maker's death, they weren't sure which one of Maker's sons should be king. Bloodraven called a great council. Aenys Blackfyre put forth his claim and was granted safe passage into King's Landing, but then was slain on the orders of Bloodraven. Maester Aemon refused the throne. The cup then passed to Aegon the Unlikely from the Tales of Dunk and Egg. During the fourth Blackfyre Rebellion, Daemon III, Aegon's son, along with Bittersteel and the Golden Company, landed in Massey's Hook. The Blackfyres were destroyed on the field of battle. Sir Duncan the Tall slew Daemon III. Bittersteel ran away, and the war was over. Aegor Rivers died a few years later, but on his deathbed, he commanded the Golden Company to boil the flesh from his skull, dip it in gold, and carry it with them when they crossed the Narrow Sea to take Westeros. Bloodraven was sent to the Wall for promising Aenys safe conduct and then killing him. Bloodraven would become part of Maester Aemon's honor guard that accompanied him to the wall. Shit calmed down for a while until this big back motherfucker Meleys the Monstrous crowned himself king and took over the Stepstones, forming the Band of Nine. Out broke the War of Nine Penny Kings, and it was in the Stepstones that a young Sir Barristan Selmy, Barristan the Bold, slew Meleys, ending the male line of Blackfyres. But in the books right now, we have what I believe is another Blackfyre plot for the throne, and that is with Aegon or Young Griff or Fagon and Illyrio and Varys and John Cunnington. But during Targaryen week, I just wanted to touch on things that are just as interesting but aren't talked about much. I don't want to bore you to death with R+L=J and Daenerys is going to rule everything week. I didn't want it to be like that. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. You can connect with me on these social medias. Please click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.
Shame.